Flowing out of Cape Town, South Africa, a vast network of highways spreads out across the Western Cape province. The N2 is the country's longest tarred road, running the length of South Africa's coast before turning inland to the economic heartland of Gauteng. The N1 is the Cape's busiest road, with stretches carrying up to 150,000 vehicles per day. The R27 traverses the harsh west coast before linking with the N7, which stretches northwards to the desert border with Namibia. Dedicated to keeping these roads safe and traffic flowing are the men and women of the Western Cape Highway Patrol. In this episode, it's the start of a new year, and the members of the Western Cape Highway Patrol are working hard, saving lives across the province. In Worcester, Senior Provincial Inspector Camerinne Swanepoel and colleagues lock up a motorist who drinks to be happy and should have stayed at home, while Provincial Inspector Thembani Matiwane and the Caledon crew get an earful when they take a tipsy, talkative traveller off the streets of Hermanus.
Hoe voel ek nou, my bro?
Hoe voel jy nou?
Ja, ek voel nou baie man.
Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's been a busy festive season. I can see, especially on Sundays, the road is picking up now again. We're expecting traffic to move in high traffic volumes because people are coming back from their holiday destinations back to Cape Town. So tonight we are on a wide zone patrol. We're going to focus on potential moving violations. All my new officers are currently driving with officers. I think they are adjusting very good. I can see they have a lot of potential. As of now, I'm quite impressed.
It's been a busy festive season for members of the Western Cape Highway Patrol. And in Worcester, Senior Provincial Inspector Swanepoel is looking forward to some rest. But before he can take a well-deserved holiday, he's working hard to ensure the public gets safely home from theirs.
Ek is meneer Swanepoel, ek werk provinsiale verkeer. Ek stop veel meneer omdat jy nie jou safety belt dra nie, né? Bestuur is essensie asseblief.
Ek het ge-expire wat ek gedaan maar môre gaan ek dit al.
Ek gaan vir u 'n fyn gee daarvoor ook, né? Want daai ding het verval nou al baie lank terug.
SPI Swanepoel stopped this driver for not wearing a seatbelt, but on closer inspection finds more than a few other faults.
Het jy in die reverse vir my gesit, meneer? Hou vas, moenie net loop nie. Die pad is besig, moenie net loop nie, né? Hou vas. Jou hoeder werk nie en jou reverse ligte werk ook nie. Ons moet net, meneer, vir alles is voor as ons op die pad gaan, moet ons maar net kyk dat alles 100% is, né? Asseblief, sort maar uit die klein goedjies. Klein goedjies, maar dit kan groot goedjies word, né? I stopped that motorist for a safety belt, but then I realized upon doing a vehicle inspection, I noticed that there's an oil leak and that his hooter is not working and his reverse lights are not working, and that it is driving with a temporary driver's license which expired prior to the COVID extension. Look, not all motorists are so nice and decent. You get a lot that's very angry and they don't know how to speak to you. We're traveling a direction Worcester, towards Worcester now. The road looks very quiet. Outbound going on towards Cape Town is quite a little bit busy.
Negative perceptions and abusive attitudes towards inspectors might stem from an ingrained stereotype of South African traffic officers as lazy and corrupt. But you'd be well advised not to test this theory on members of the Western Cape Highway Patrol.
The previous cycle, I had a bribery arrest, and I was just like normally I pulled over a minibus taxi, and then I noticed that there was a passenger overload in the taxi. And then as I was gonna issue him the fine for that, then he came to me, then he asked me, come, let's make a plan. And if you can't buy me a drink. And then he offered me 300 rand to not issue him out the fine. And then I arrested him. I took him to the SEPs. Luckily, I had another driver in the taxi, so the people at least weren't stranded. So the road is getting busy now, direction Cape Town. Oh, what is happening? Is that taxi driver dropping someone there? I just want to check that out. There's not even space to drop. Good evening, goeienaand. So I'm stopping you now because you're dropping a passenger here, and it's very unsafe to do that here. Stopping so as to constitute a danger or obstruction to other road users. That fine is 1,000 rand. Operate a road-based public transport service contrary to your conditions of your permit. You are off route. You are not supposed to be here. That's 2,500. You just sign there for me. You're not signing that you're guilty. You're only signing that you understand the fine and that I explain everything to you.
Most Western Cape commuters rely on minibus taxis for transport. Unfortunately, this crucial service is prone to violent conflict over routes. Enforcing permit and route compliance is key to ending the deadly taxi wars.
He's a bit angry, but he's off route. He's not supposed to drive here. Even if he has one passenger, that vehicle is registered as a public transport vehicle, which means he's only allowed to operate with that vehicle. The only way he's going to be able to use that vehicle for private use is when he get authorization from our board, our public transport board, which can state that the 2nd of February, Mr. Swanepoel will use this vehicle for a private trip and it will be family inside. That's the only way he don't need a permit to operate with that vehicle. Now we're waiting for that one to overtake. There we go. There he's going. Just watch him behind the truck there. He wants to go. There we go. He's going. You see, guys?
Dangerous overtaking across barrier lines often leads to high-speed head-on collisions with fatal consequences not only for the reckless driver, but also the oncoming motorists and those being overtaken.
Sir, our roads are very busy. You are not allowed to do that. Please, 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 if you are in a hurry, you must just wait. That barrier line is there for a reason. Where are you going, sir? Cape Town.
The motorist is not happy with the sizable fine, but hopefully might think twice before recklessly overtaking again at the potential cost of his and other road users' lives.
There we go. Fine is 2,500. Please drive safe. You have your family with you. Get where you're supposed to be safe.
Before joining their colleagues for a roadblock in Hermanus, Provincial Inspectors Matiwane and Botha have started their first shift of the new year, with a visible patrol on the N2 between Caledon and Grabo.
Yeah, the first day of the new year, Chief. Everything's been easy so far. But then later on, we are going to join the roadblock in Hermanus on R43. But now we're just patrolling to check out there by the lookout point and come back. Then we make our way to the R43. Today, my co-driver is Mr. Botha, so he's one of the newly appointed officers.
I've learned a lot from the officers, the older officers, and the teamwork. I like the teamwork that they have and the spirit.
The new inspectors have been deployed at the busiest time of year for the Western Cape Highway Patrol, as they work tirelessly to reduce road crashes and assist stranded motorists.
Hello, ma'am. How are you? What's wrong?
This driver's tire got a puncture and her spare is also flat. Thankfully, a passing Good Samaritan saw her plight and pulled over to lend her his. And with the inspector's help, she is soon back on the road.
That was good of that guy, man, because he doesn't even know the lady. Then someone gave her his own spare tire. So maybe they'll meet up tomorrow, and then the lady will bring the tire back and the stuff. That's so good, man, of that guy.
PIs Matiwane and Puerta have barely finished fitting the tire when a call comes in from the new inspectors at the Hermanus Roadblock, who've come across a potentially intoxicated motorist and need some guidance. The experienced inspector who was overseeing the roadblock is busy processing another drunk driving arrest. So PI Matiwane rushes to the scene to assess the situation and advise Provincial Inspector Davids on how to proceed.
Hi, bud. Kujan. Kujan. Cool. How's the straight, bro? Uza straight.
The driver admits to having had a drink. He is steady on his feet and has no problem passing the field sobriety test, but will have to wait on the side of the road for a while, just to make sure.
Hey, bro, you can take this car, you just park it there. Then we just keep him waiting, let's say, for 10 to 30 minutes, yeah.
Wait for half an hour or so.
I spoke to him and I asked him how many wine or something he had to drink. So he told me he just drank something now. So procedure says we have to let him wait at least 15 minutes before testing. We did a sobriety test and the gentleman seems sober. So we suspect that he had something to drink, but at least he's under the limit. Yeah, so we're letting him wait now. I'm giving him half an hour, up to an hour or so. So he can just sober up a bit before we let him proceed any further.
Hermanus is a popular holiday destination for local and international visitors alike. As the sun sets, traffic volumes increase as vacationers return from exploring the scenic surrounds, keeping the inspectors constantly busy. Back in Worcester, Senior Provincial Inspector Swanepoel has also received a call to assist his new colleagues with a suspected drunk driver.
Raggie, as my kan ontvang, nee, slinger het hulp nodig daar by Sekoe gat padstal, nee. Ek is ook op pad daar na toe. 10-4, dankie. So we don't know what the situation is, but I always just say, let's just prepare for whatever. So as jy hom nie gaan vat, jy moenie nog lang tyd mors nie. As jy hom gaan vat.
The training that started at the college continues on the roads, and SPI Swanepoel stresses that the decision to arrest or not needs to be made promptly, or they risk not getting the suspect's blood tested within the 2-hour legal limit.
They were busy with stop and check next to the road, and that guy was driving past them. Didn't want to stop for them, and then they managed to stop him here.
Provincial Inspector Slanger decides there's ample evidence to proceed with the arrest, but this suspect has other ideas.
So Mark zei dat keer, whoa, where are you going? Stand there. Stand there. You're not gonna run, né? So Mr. Slanger, besluit gou, wat gaan jy maak? Ek het kaps veel. Wat gaan jy maak? Nou maak so, dit nie nodig.
Going to arrest you for drunken driving, né? Remain silent, you have the right not to remain silent. Everything you say will be held against you in court.
Doe gewoon mijn masker, deze kar staan niet. Just give your cooperation, and then everything will be fine, eh? Don't give the officers a hard time. They suspect that they had some alcohol to drink. So we're just gonna take him to the hospital just to draw some blood.
Experienced SPI Swanepoel cautions the inspectors driving the arrested suspect and his vehicle to stay within sight of each other to avoid accusations of damage or theft further down the line.
Ja, moet niet te vinnig ry nie, né? Laat die offender sy kar sien. Laat hy maar heeltyd agter jou bly. Ja, okay, kom. Hy sien jou by die polisiestasie en ek sal ook 'n draai maak daar by julle.
Hermanus Roadblock is hotting up as holidaymakers return from the beach or head out for the evening. There's always something new to learn, like how to interpret foreign driver's licenses.
Number 3 is motorcycle, but where does it show what you have?
With a little help from the motorcyclist, his license checks out.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I'm just going to enter your details manually.
As the sun sets, there are more and more dodgy vehicles requiring close inspection. A number of substantial fines are issued, and unroadworthy vehicles discontinued.
Hoe oud is hij? Ja, Jay. Okay, ja, ik zie hem. Hey, hij is jong, joh. Shop, shop. Hoi. Hola, hola, hola.
A worn tire reduces handling and stopping ability. The tires on this vehicle have as much grip as a soggy toilet roll and are close to bursting. The occupants are fortunate that the car is discontinued and will have to pass a roadworthy inspection before being allowed back on the road.
Why were you standing there, Vas?
Oh, I'm waiting for one.
This motorist had stopped before the roadblock and needed to be fetched. He claims he was waiting for a friend, but when his vehicle gets a thorough going over, there are enough issues for him to have wanted to stay away.
You have a problem with the spare or what? With the tire or with the speaker? Oh, okay. It's fine, you can close.
Because that crack in your windscreen is right in front of you, sir. Okay. Going to issue you for your disc, sir. Okay. As well as your windscreen. Meneer moet veilig ry, nou mooi aan verder van meneer. Okay, meneer, altyd. Altyd.
Back in Worcester, the new inspectors are escorting the intoxicated driver to the police station, with SPI Swanepoel in attendance to help them with their first arrest.
I'm very happy. That's why I said I'm so excited for them. I'm very, very, very happy. And especially now that the arresting officer here is one of the newly trained officers. So I'm glad he gets also the opportunity to see how the process is and how it gets done. And that is what it's all about, helping each other, assisting each other, and, you know, on-the-job training. My brother, the people is dying on the road, but you still drive drunk. No, man. No, but you still drive under the influence. Why you do that? The beers. Milk stout. Oh, you see? What are you doing behind the wheels? You want to be happy.
I want to be
And the milk stout is making you happy now. My brother, no, man. You can be happy at home too. But you're gonna go to the hospital and they must check you, man.
While the new inspectors take the now not-so-happy drunk to hospital for blood tests, Senior Provincial Inspector Swanepoel gets back to patrolling the dangerous N1, which almost cost him his life at the start of his career.
In 2014, I was deployed for the Easter season that time, and I remember the road being very, very, very quiet that time. So there was a big abnormal vehicle that wanted to come out. So I remember thinking that just after he crosses, I'm gonna issue him with a Section 56 notice because he's blocking now the N1, and that's when I saw big white lights in my rearview mirror. And that's when the truck from behind crashed into me, and he hit me into the truck that was standing and blocking the road. I remember waking up inside the vehicle, and I was struggling and I couldn't get the safety belt loose. But then eventually I got it loose. At the moment when I got out, I felt I was laying on the slow lane here. I remember when I opened my eyes, a lady was praying, and she was praying over me that time. Yeah, and I just remember all the red lights and all the ambulances. I was very emotional, like very, very emotional, because we are supposed to protect and serve, and it was like I'm failing traffic because, yeah, now I'm in an accident. And I believe that everything that happened, man, after the accident and everything, it was part of my process, it was part of my learning and stuff, because that accident also like made me more aware of anything can happen, anything can change in a split second you're on the road.
In Hermanus, the inspectors have hit their stride, and the busy roadblock is running effectively and efficiently.
I'm enjoying my team. The senior officers I'm working under is really trying their best to give their knowledge in a manner that I can use it also on the road. So I'm very happy.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is my license.
How many beers did you drink? Okay, how many beers did you drink? Yeah?
I believe man,
Huh?
Yeah.
PI Matiwane has suspicions about this motorist with a lot to say for himself, and thinks he's another driver who should have stayed at home.
What did you drink?
Naked.
Loop, kom in to net straight.
The field sobriety test shows the only body part of this talkative driver that's working properly is his tongue.
Yeah, turn around.
And the only place he's going is the police station. The cuffs are now on and the writing is on the wall, but he still seems to think he can talk his way out of it.
Kyk mooi na my kar. Het jy so baie gedrink?
Wie, jy?
Hallo, wie al ek het open? Jy is all right, man.
He's all right, maar jy kan nie loop nie. You can't stand on one leg.
My waarom?
There's no way that PI Matiwane can let this guy get back behind the wheel. So after booking him at the police station, it's off to the hospital for blood tests. Even at the hospital, the driver still thinks he may be able to charm his way out of this. But for everyone's safety, including his own, the only place he's going is into a prison cell. This is another dangerous driver who's going to be spending the night in a cell. He really just should have stayed at home. Next time on Western Cape Highway Patrol, Provincial Inspector Hopper is back on patrol after a well-deserved break, keeping N2 road users of all shapes and sizes safe.
The thing is with goats, they follow each other. So if one's in the road, then it's a party.
While inspectors from across the province gather for a special operation in Beaufort West, aiming to stem the lawlessness and carnage on the N1, as holidaymakers flock back to Cape Town.